There are many misconceptions with Somalis and the Somali region as a whole. The media has perpetuated this notion that Somalis, that are living in the region, are lawlessness is going about. There's no government or anarchy, piracy, famine. And majority of these things are negative. In order for you to understand a country, you have to understand its people and what they go through. So Somali Sideways is the collection of people that I've interviewed that deserve to be highlighted, positive stories that change the narrative. And I feel as though that's kind of like my responsibility with this work, is to change the mindset, is to change how people view Somalis, and is to change how Somalis are viewed not just in the region but globally. Hello, my name is Mohamed Mohamud and I'm the founder of a global storytelling platform called Somali Sideways. So Somali Sideways this year has been running for 10 years, and I started this in 2014 with a simple vision of taking photos of Somalis standing sideways. It has evolved into many different things. I published books. Somali Sideways photo book, where it was a photo book collection of Somalis that I interviewed. There's also a book about women, so it's highlighting the stories of Somali women from around the world. I've done photography exhibitions from different places, and I've also been invited to different institutions and doing different projects with them. Currently I'm working with the African Union doing a project on African storytelling and bringing about Africans and the stories that they've been misconceptions of them, and trying to highlight the positives, to changing the narrative and to amplify African voices. I'm a graduate from SOAS University, and when I shared my book with them, they said that it would be fantastic to have it at our library. So and I get a lot of emails by different students, and whether they're doing their masters or PhD, saying that we want to do research on your work, and I thought having a book at the library will be a good way for students at that particular uni, SOAS, to do more research on Somalis, their stories and things like that. So I think in terms of biggest impact, I think that to some level it will bring a lasting sort of legacy. Students for many years will go to the Somali section, Somalis or non-Somalis, interested in the culture, the people, the language, the heritage, and using my book as a form of primary or secondary source. So it's a big achievement. I've never really told this I never really tell this to people, but looking back at it now, it's definitely a huge achievement for sure. Wow, that's it's a very interesting question. There are many advices that I can give. Of course, when you're creating something, you have to come with the right intention. So what is it that you intend to achieve with what you're trying to do? So have the right intention. That's one. Because if you have the right intention, at some point, people will like the things that you're doing, and you'll be invited to places and whatnot. So always have the right intention. Number two is having patience as well. A lot of the time when you're doing creative work, people will have this idea that, I want to be recognized, I want to be known, this, that, the other. I feel as though creatives should have an idea that, your work should speak for itself. So always focus on, your own work, and once you focus on that, people recognizing you for your work will come later. And of course, things that for example, funds might not be able to sustain the work you're doing, but at the end of the day, the money will come at some point. So if you have the right intention, you're consistent, being patient, and not focusing on the money aspect straight away, will equip you the tools to be a creative in whatever field, for example, photography, videography, film, or any other creative outlet. So yeah, I would say those things will help prepare you for the creative world.